afternoon, hockey fans, and happy Saturday wherever you are. Welcome to Duluth, Minnesota, and inside Amsoil Arena. I am Zach Schneider. Alongside me is former UMD captain Emma Stauber. Game 2 today between longtime WCHA rivals UMD and Wisconsin. The Bulldogs took game 1 yesterday in dramatic fashion. Gabby Hughes scored late in the third period to tie the game at 1. Then Nina Jope-Smith scored the overtime game winner with less than a minute left in the extra session. Thank you so much for being with us. Today's game being brought to you with the support of Essentia Health and Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC. Emma, we said yesterday, always fun when the Bulldogs and Badgers get together. We were not disappointed yesterday. We look forward to another mid-season classic for these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I think today's game's gonna, you're gonna see that rivalry come out even more, especially after how the game ended yesterday. Wisconsin's gonna be looking for some revenge, and UMD's gonna have to hold them off if they want to complete the sweep.
Completing the sweep, something that UMD has not done against Wisconsin since October of 2012, a span of 3,669 days since the last time that the Bulldogs have swept the Badgers, something they will try to do here this afternoon. Thank you for being with us. Zach Schneider, Emma Stauber. We are underway for game 2 between these Bulldogs and the Badgers. UMD in their home gold uniforms, the Badgers in their away reds. Love these two uniforms from these two teams. Take a look at the Wisconsin lineup across the top of your screen. No change to the 19 skaters that are dressed. They did make a change at goaltender, which we'll talk about as the first period progresses here. The same lineup for UMD this afternoon as well. There you get a look at the forward combinations and D pairings for the Bulldogs. Edwards shoots it in for Wisconsin. It gets past Jope-Smith at the far side. She gets it back, and now Stewart controls. It was the first period that belonged to Wisconsin in large part yesterday. They outshot the Bulldogs 16-6 in the opening 20 minutes. But talking with Maura Kroll before this game, she said the shot counter may have indicated that it was a very Wisconsin heavy period. She didn't think that her team necessarily played poorly, though she did agree that the Bulldogs got stronger as the game went on, and they really put the pressure on the Badgers in the second and third periods of yesterday's game. Eden, she was the goal scorer yesterday for Wisconsin. It came near the end of that opening period. A 1-0 lead that Wisconsin almost held to the very end. Gabby Hughes scored just inside the 3-minute mark of that third period to tie the game, to send it to the extra session before Jope-Smith got the winner. 2 minutes gone. Very territorial in play for the opening minutes of this Saturday afternoon rematch. Flaherty steps up, and a penalty coming to UMD as Flaherty delivered a hit at the defensive blue line. Wisconsin will head to the game's first power play, and we'll talk about our two starting goaltenders for UMD. Emma Soderberg, of course, the Olympian, back in there. And for Wisconsin, they make a change, going from the senior Cami Kronish to the sophomore Jane Gervais, but she's been very good as well. Undefeated, a goals against under 1. We talked a lot yesterday how good these two teams are defensively. Didn't think Kronish was bad by any means yesterday, but when you've got two good ones, Mark Johnson can go to the other, and he does here today. Power play underway for Wisconsin. Towards the front, it's tipped by Curl, just wide in front, and Stewart gets it and clears for UMD. Early chance for Wisconsin to take the lead. Eden Across the blue line, high slot area, shot that whistled wide, actually got deflected, almost hit the official, and now it's cleared once more by the Bulldogs. 1:15 to go in this Wisconsin power play. Lamantia moves it ahead. This is Harvey. Carolyn Harvey, the hotshot freshman defenseman for Wisconsin. So much goes through her, and she's just now 11 games into her collegiate career. She's got the puck in the far side circle, moves in, she scores. Right on cue, Carolyn Harvey, a power play goal, and it's 1-0 Wisconsin.
Taking a look at the replay here down below the goal line, Wisconsin very composed with the puck. They go low to high, then find Harvey on the left side.
She's so impressive as just a freshman for this Wisconsin team. That's her 5th goal of the year, her 18th point in this, their 12th game of the season for the Badgers. But we talked about this yesterday, the experience that she has in her hockey career. She came into college, arrived on campus as an Olympian with a silver medal. So it's not like she hasn't played at a high level or played in big spots before getting to the Badgers.
No, and right there you can just see the experience come through with that execution, that shot. She got it on net, but she picked that spot, there's no doubt.
Long shot from Edwards. That was blocked by Rogie. So the Bulldogs again in a 1-goal hole here in the opening period. Yesterday it took them almost the entire 60 minutes to draw back even. There's the goal scorer, Gabby Hughes. She shoots it in. Rogie tried to go to work, had it poked away by Edwards. Now Woznevich lost it to Linser, and now Baskin for UMD. Baskin retreating, chased behind the goal by Wheeler. Eden, takeaway just inside the blue line. Van Wieren back checking on her, gets some help from the defenseman Hannah Baskin. And now it's Henderson. She shoots it off the boards out to center ice. Kotlowski got it as far as Baskin, takeaway by Edwards toward the front and cleared away from trouble. Another shot off the side of the goal for Layla Edwards, the younger sister of Shayla Edwards. Now it moves to the far side point. That shot was deflected in behind the net of UMD, taken by Van Wieren. Wisconsin again putting early pressure on UMD. 5 minutes in, the shot's 3-1, and Harvey the only goal.
Yeah, Wisconsin definitely has a little energy from that power play goal right there.
Now it's Curl. She's in alone here, 1-on-5 as her teammates change behind. Bell picks the puck up behind the net, moves it ahead. This is Anderson. Comes through neutral ice, moves around one defender. Nice job by Sophie Shirley to angle her off, force the dump attempt, and now it's Bookbinder. Up the wall for Shirley. I really like the game of Sophie Shirley. Who doesn't? She's into the top 10 now all-time scorers in Wisconsin history. But boy, does she fly around the rink. Even when she doesn't have the puck, she's making impact on the game.
Yeah, that's one thing about hockey players is their IQ to read the space and move off the puck, which she does exceptionally.
6 minutes gone now here in period number 1. Played ahead. Picard has it taken away by a back-checking Hughes. Pitchforked in by Kraus. Gervais out to play it, moves it to the far side. Kraus cuts it off there at the half boards, gives it to Hughes. On her backhand, behind the net. Tries a centering pass, got it out top of the crease area, and that was Lowry, who couldn't get her stick free for UMD. Now tripped up is Henderson. The puck gets to Fierman. Both defensemen there in the near side corner for UMD. Coming down the slot, Bergen a shot, and Gervais made a save. She had lost her stick on the play, but still was able to make that stop, and now a puck out of play. We will take a quick look at our Kohler keys to the game for Wisconsin. Attacking ways, which we've already seen here, Emma, through the first 6.5 minutes. For UMD, shoot from everywhere. That game-tying goal in the end was not the prettiest goal that UMD's ever scored, but it bounced around and Gabby Hughes was able to tie the game late.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, we've seen that start from Wisconsin to attack in waves, and I think yesterday they were just trying to defend that 1-0 lead and got a little complacent. But, you know, UMD's got to continue to do that. Shoot from everywhere, continue to put pressure on. Right now, they're just trying to get it over the blue line.
They will get a chance here on the power play as Wisconsin's waiting for a number. Wisconsin takes a penalty here, and UMD to the power play. When we come back, it's Picard. 1-0 Badgers on My 9 Sports, the great TV network. UMD Stores has the area's largest selection of UMD wear and is open 7 days a week. Visit the campus store on Kirby Drive to see the newest gear for fans of all ages, or shop online anytime, anywhere at umdstores.com. Power play for UMD. A chance to draw back even with a power play marker of their own. Bell's pass just out of the reach of Hughes. She gets it back now on the near side boards, into the corner. McMahon, Bell at the point. Far side, Flaherty tried to go across the box to Hughes. Bell has it back now. Hughes, a shot that was blocked, into the corner, McMahon. 30 seconds gone on this power play for UMD. Hughes now in the corner, centering pass, back door. What a save from Gervais. She got the left pad across to Rob Maggie Flaherty.
Great puck movement there by UMD to find that back door, but excellent save.
1 minute to go as Hanley comes across center ice. She shoots it in for UMD to the far side. LaMontia tries to bang it off the boards. It got as far as the blue line, and now it does skip out over the stick of Baskin. She's chased by Wheeler back behind the UMD goal with 45 seconds to play on the power play. Now Kraus. Jope Smith leaves it for Van Weeren. Baskin. They'll get set up again. Unit number 2 out there for UMD. Hanley to Baskin. Fires it. She scores! Hannah Baskin! Her first as a Bulldog, a power play goal. We're tied 1-1.
Excellent job here. Good patience. Gets back to Baskin. Shot on net. She used number 2 Bookbinder for a screen there with that shot. Goalie had no chance.
The first collegiate goal for the Minnetonka native, Hannah Baskin. And the Bulldogs are back even. The teams trade power play goals here in the game's opening 10 minutes. Neither team had a power play goal in yesterday's game. They both get one here in the early going. Now McMahon a shot. Stick save Gervais. Continuing on was Anderson. She collided with Davis behind the net. Easy clear for Wisconsin, and they'll shoot it in. Out to play at Soderberg. She moved it to the far side. Anderson off the wall, ahead for McMahon. Tried to sweep it towards the center, and it's taken now by the Badgers. Shirley with some speed, tried to move to the middle. Good defense there by Bell and Flaherty. Tag team that. Now Bell takes the pass from Flaherty. She leads the charge across the blue line. 2-on-5 as they're changing behind the play. Hughes off the bench. Gets some help from Kraus. The two Gabbies go at it for UMD. It pops out to the far side of the cage. Taken now by Rogie. Sneaking down is Stewart. She had a lot of time and space. It just snuck under her stick though. Jope Smith tries to hold and does at the far side, only momentarily, and it's cleared now by Wisconsin. Stewart a long shot, gloved and released by Gervais as we move past the halfway point of this opening stanza. Bookbinder flipped it ahead, and it's going to be in on goal. Soderberg will cover there. We'll step aside. It's 1-1 on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network.
Welcome back to a 1-1 game here at Amsoil. Confidence is a word and term that you hear a lot with this UMD Bulldogs team. There was a moment yesterday where Maura Crow and Naomi Rogi shared a lap for the third period yesterday, a game that the Bulldogs couldn't get anything offensively for the first 2 periods. But just that moment of laughter between Naomi and Coach Crow shows that nothing really can rattle this team. They just already came back from a 1-goal deficit. See if they can do it in another WCHA battle right now, Zach.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kevin. Long shot there, gloved aside by Soderberg. Emma, that obviously comes with success, and UMD's had that the past several seasons under Maura Kroll and her staff, but that swagger that UMD plays with over the last several seasons is maybe something that we were building toward in the first several years that Kroll was behind the Bulldogs bench, but certainly her teams now have that confidence.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to build some resiliency in this league, especially, and for UMD to kind of be an underdog against some of these top teams. Now they're, like you said, gaining confidence from their success because of the little details. And one thing that I did like from Gabby's interview earlier in their press conference this week was that she talked about trusting her teammates, and that's a crucial component to any team success. So that definitely comes from the coaches down through the leaders on this team, and you can see that. You saw it yesterday.
Something that Wisconsin has had for the better part of the past decade on the women's hockey side. They've had a lot of success, and with that has come a lot of confidence. And for some of those years, it felt like when Wisconsin was on the schedule, you just could expect to see them have success and see them score a lot of goals. And now it's kind of flipped the script a little bit where UMD comes into these series and really feels like they should be the ones that are altering Wisconsin's game plan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anytime you can have that thought process going into, the more success you're going to continue to have because you have that belief in yourself and your teammates and the program.
Now a chance for McMahon right in on Gervais, who held her near side post very tightly. She covers up. Inside 8 minutes to go here, opening period. We'll step aside for a quick word from our sponsors.
Choose Ogston's Body and Paint when your car needs repairs.
Man and McMahon, with the graduation of Anna Klein now, maybe the fastest Bulldog on the team, and it's fun to see her in open ice when she gets the puck in a little bit of space.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any type of speed and you got to use it, especially against teams like Wisconsin, to put pressure on them, especially early in the game. You want to put them back on their heels, and she's done a great job with that.
She tips it in and will give chase again. She wins the foot race into the corner. Tried to cycle it to Davis. Davis was really good yesterday as Anderson is pushed into Gervais. The Wisconsin bench wants a penalty, doesn't get it. I think that's a good no call. She was pushed directly into the goaltender. Nowhere really for Anderson to go. A puck out of play, and the face-off, I believe, will come at neutral ice. Top line against top line. To Patty Kazmaier, top 10 finalists last year. Gabby Hughes and Casey O'Brien take that face-off. Hughes made it into the top 3. Also was a finalist for the Hockey Humanitarian Award. And now a 2-on-1 break the other way. This is O'Brien. O'Brien centering pass, looking for Wozniewicz, and she just couldn't get a stick to it. Good looking chance there for the Badgers. They started the game out shooting the Bulldogs 3-1. Since then, 5-1 in favor of UMD. O'Brien to the middle. It was knocked away by a back-checking Hughes, who has the puck now for UMD. Across the red line, she flips it in. They're changing their forward lines. Hughes in on a fairly passive forecheck. And Edwards, this is Shayla Edwards, plays it forward for Wisconsin. Picard got it as far as Bell. Grace Shirley, the sister of Sophie Shirley. She moves it back to Harvey. Now an interception. Van Weeren in on goal. Gervais made another good save with the left pad. Good read there from Van Weeren. Long shot from Bell. Changed directions in front and went just wide. Shirley a long pass, and that will be waved off for icing. Tipped by UMD, they say. Bell moves it out of her zone. Eden, the goal scorer yesterday for Wisconsin, into the zone. Her pass behind Layla Edwards. Now McMahon from below the goal line. Her exit attempt disrupted by Eden. Now it flips to the far side. Henderson moves it ahead just out of the reach of Anderson, and that is icing on UMD. 5:41 to go. The shots now, since a 3-1 start for Wisconsin, 7-1 in favor of UMD.
Yeah, that was a great read by Van Weeren there with that D-to-D pass pick off in front of the net, and right there, she got a shot, but she got a rebound too. So those are those little details UMD is going to be looking for today.
Face off to the left of Soderberg, controlled by Eden. She's got a path to the net, to the backhand, and she's tripped up. Good move there by Lacey Eden. She just couldn't quite finish on the far side of the goal. They move it off the boards, does UMD. McMahon ahead for Anderson. They'll be able to change 4 of their 5 skaters as she gets it in deep. Gives chase. It's Eden who exits. Spins away from the check of Hughes. Her pass ahead for Sims, who lost it, and now Rogie to Hughes. Moves it to the middle, looking for Kraus. It's picked up in open ice by Comfer. 3-on-2 as Wisconsin comes across the UMD line. Comfer wide in the middle, it's Curl! And she had some space to shoot at, but a glove save made by Emma Soderberg. We'll step aside. 1-1 our score. My9 Sports, the Gray TV Network. Pretty good back and forth action. Good pace to this opening period. Final 5 minutes now of the first 20 minutes between the Bulldogs and Badgers. Shirley muscled out behind the net. This is Bell for UMD up the far side wall. Shirley did well to back pressure, and it's controlled now by LaMontia, who gets it back into the Bulldog zone. Wrapped around to the near side. Van Weeren and Bookbinder in a race. Won by Bookbinder. Good pinch from her. Keeps the play alive for Wisconsin in the UMD defensive zone. Pinned up against the far side wall now. That's Hanley and Flaherty, along with Comfer and Curl. 2-on-2 battle continues in that far side corner as we approach 4 minutes to go in the opening period. Wisconsin centering try. That was knocked away by Hanley. Moved to the near side boards. Bookbinder again down from her spot on the point. She tried to spin a centering pass. That was no good, and Hanley clears ahead for Linzer, who dumps it in for UMD. LaMontia. Long stretch pass. Wozniewicz at the line. Gives to O'Brien. Has Wheeler with him. Wheeler in the circle. A centering pass and a good stick from Taylor Stewart. Knocks that one up out of play.
That's the last 2 rushes by Wisconsin here. They're finding that second wave. She's wide open, F3, and able to get some shots on net. Luckily, UMD was able to deflect that one.
Not the 3 players you want to see on a 3-on-2. Their top line of Wheeler, O'Brien, and Wozniewicz. They win the face-off here. Wheeler a shot, and Soderberg fumbled it a bit, but in the end covers up and makes the stop for UMD. Do the face-off again to Soderberg's left. This time Hughes wins it for the Bulldogs. Job Smith moves it to the far side. Kraus off the wall. Again, a good pinch. The Wisconsin D are so good at that, Emma, and you know how difficult that is, pinching down from the blue line to pin themselves against that wall and not let the Bulldogs forwards just kind of bang it off the boards and out of the zone.
Yeah, I mean, your goal as a pinching defense is you got your F3 high to help you. You can be confident in that pinch, and you got to get that puck or the body, and Wisconsin's doing a great job of, keeping that puck along the wall and giving time for the forwards to come in and help pull it off and start attacking again.
Margin for error is so little with a play like that, because if you're wrong or you do leave a little bit of space for that puck to get out, it's an outnumbered chance the other way perhaps for UMD.
Yeah, that's where I talk about that trust and that F3 high. You don't want to make that pinch if you don't have that cover helping you. But definitely something that Wisconsin's very disciplined on, making sure that they have that coverage.
Wheeler made a play towards the goal. It's covered up at the side of the net by Soderberg. Another face-off in the Bulldog zone. We'll step aside for another message from our sponsors.
Mainstream Fashions for Men has you covered with new fall fashions.
2:58 to play here in the first period. A few more whistles in the last couple minutes than we've had. It was good flow through the first 15 minutes or so. A few more whistles now as Helgeson fires one towards the net. That was blocked off. Sophie Helgeson has some history in her family with Wisconsin. Her dad, John, won the 1990 men's national championship with the Badgers. And now she, a sophomore from Roseau, trying to do the same on the women's side this season. She plays a cross-ice pass to the far side. Now it's Eden in the circle. Try to toe drag. Back to the forehand. A rising shot. Missed the net. Helgeson picks it up in the near point. Back to Eden. Baskin intercepts that pass. Plays it ahead. Davis just out of the zone. Baskin able to collect it there. And now it's Linser off the bench for UMD. She shoots it in past Helgeson and will give chase into the near corner. Comes to the point, Flaherty steps up for UMD in the circle, a shot bouncing toward the net and cleared away by the stick of Sophie Helgeson. Held at the point by Bell, poked away from her by Layla Edwards, and Helgeson off the wall and rink wide. They'll exit the zone. This is Eden, end of her shift here. Area pass to curl the far side, a shot saved by Soderberg. Good pass there from Lacey Eden. She had a choice, either dump it in and head to the bench. She made a little area pass to curl and created a scoring opportunity for Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's just the expertise that you see at this level. She could see her out of the corner of her eye coming into the zone there, and little reach and gets a puck on net.
Helps that Britta Curl has quite a big reach.
Right.
She just got that puck on her stick and fired a good shot, but Soderberg made the stop for UMD. Soderberg maybe didn't get as much credit as she should have for yesterday's win for UMD. I thought she was really spectacular, and Wisconsin had several chances to extend that 1-0 lead throughout the game, but Soderberg stood tall and gave her team a chance to tie it in the end.
Yeah, she did. She was in control of that crease all game yesterday. She was coming out and challenging whenever there was a breakdown or Wisconsin came in with a good shooting opportunity. But, yeah, she definitely was a key factor yesterday.
Long shot in that Gervais chooses to cover. A face-off in the Wisconsin zone with 1:05 to go. Mentioned it yesterday, but Cami Kronish, the starting goaltender for Wisconsin in yesterday's game, she did extend her shutout streak to over 300 minutes before Gabby Hughes scored late in the third period. That moves her into 4th all-time in the Wisconsin record books, so certainly a good accomplishment early in the year for Kronish. Hanley through the middle of the zone. Can't get a shot away. Flaherty now tipped in front. Gervais made the save. Linser follows her rebound into the corner. 45 seconds to go. Opening period. Comes back to Linser near the blue line. Long shot tipped in front. And Gervais again had to be sharp with the left pad. Moving it ahead now, Wisconsin. Wozniewicz in the middle. O'Brien had her pass knocked away. Nice defensive play. I think that was Linser back defensively for UMD. Now Bell in the far side corner. Centering pass taken away by O'Brien. Final 10 seconds of period number 1 now. Misplay by Gervais behind the net. It comes free. Centering pass. And McMahon almost got a gift for UMD. Gervais tried to just play it off the end boards, and Anderson sent one back through the crease. Watch this. And McMahon went forehand, backhand. Gervais just able to swallow that one up for Wisconsin. That could have been a turning point with 5 seconds to go in a tie game, first period. UMD tries to win the face-off here. They do, but can't control. And the period will come to a close with a tie score, 1-1 after 20 minutes. Another good one brewing here for UMD and Wisconsin. We'll step aside. The Super One Foods intermission report starts right after this on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network. 1-1 our score after one period here at Amsoil Arena in Duluth. Right now, our Kevin Moore has UMD co-captain Ashton Bell with him on the ice.
Ashton, going back to yesterday, I talked earlier about confidence this team has. Yesterday, there were 2 periods. There was nothing really going for you offensively, but you stuck with it. There was a confidence. I saw Maura and Naomi joking around. What's that level that you guys just can't get rattled? What's it like?
Yeah, I think this group has a lot of confidence. We have a lot of belief, and we just stick with it. We had a slow start yesterday, but turned it on there halfway through the second, and yeah, just never stopped believing and never gave up on the play, and we're able to get one there at the end and then finish it in OT. So yeah, it was a great win yesterday, and we're building off it today.
Yeah, today, I mean, you guys had the 1-goal deficit too, and then you fight right back. When you see a goal in a big game like this, Baskin's first goal in her career, what's that like, just seeing her first goal as someone who scored many in her collegiate career?
Yeah, no, Baski's been playing awesome, so to see her get her first win there and it was an absolute night was pretty awesome, and so happy for her and well-deserved.
And then what is it going to take for you to get your first lead in regulation against this number 3 Badgers team?
Yeah, I think just coming out strong here in the second, cleaning up a few areas in the O zone and the D zone, getting back to pucks hard, and yeah, just keep getting shots through. This goalie seems to be fumbling them, so just keep getting shots through and attacking the net.
All right, thanks, Ash. Good luck in the second. 1-1 game in the first period. Zach, send it over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kevin. We talked with Coach Maura Kroll before the game, and she said that the amount of joy that the teammates took from Nina Job-Smith scoring yesterday's overtime game winner. That was her second career goal. Tonight, they get Hannah Baskin scoring her first career goal. Sometimes we go into games like this and say your stars have to be your stars, right? Your best players have to show up against the other team's best players. But UMD this weekend has gotten some production from people who maybe aren't used to getting on the score sheet.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at the game yesterday, and we talked about it. Gabby had someone on her all game, so it's hard for those players that, you know, are supposed to be contributing, but the other team's defending that the way that they need to. But to have some of the players that don't score very often get some of their, you know, first points is really, really special. And I think it just goes to show you the team that you have, or UMD has, and the success and trust and belief. I mean, she said it right there. They believe in each other, and they're just really excited for everyone's successes.
Now, on the other side, Wisconsin's power play goal did come from a fairly likely source in Carolyn Harvey, their freshman defenseman, Olympic silver gold medalist who we've talked about, but some of the best players for Wisconsin. It never ceases to amaze me, no matter how many times we watch these two teams play against each other, how many skill players Wisconsin has up and down the roster, and this year is no different.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be ready for it. The depth that they have is outstanding, and I don't know that that's going to change. So you got to be prepared for it, and they're going to, I mean, as UMD, you got to be expected to get scored on, okay, and fight back every time that does happen, and that's exactly what they did. They got scored on a power play goal, and then they have the opportunity in a power play as well, and they executed. So that's, you know, from Coach Kroll's standpoint, that's what you got to ask for from your team.
Yeah, we know at the very least that we expect Carolyn Harvey to be around for the next several years. I'm not sure the rest of the WCHA, the coaches and players, are that excited about it, but I'm excited to watch her play the rest of her career at Wisconsin. It's been a good start for her. She has a goal in this one. Hannah Baskin answered for UMD, and we stand deadlocked at 1 after 1. The Super One Foods intermission report continues right after this on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network.
Welcome to the Super One Foods first intermission report. We've heard the name often, Maggie Flaherty, and there's no doubt the Bulldogs missed her down the stretch last season. I sat down with Maggie to discuss her mantra for this season, unfinished business. So Maggie, back to your 5th year at UMD, especially the way last season ended for you guys. You missed 15 games last year with injury. What was that kind of the deciding factor in you coming back, or was last year like you're coming back regardless?
I decided I was going to come back even before last year. So, I mean, having the season end the way it did for me just kind of confirmed it. It's like, okay, like we're going back again. Like, let's go do this thing. And I got a whole new perspective on like watching the team instead of being out there with them. It was like super fun to watch them all.
I was always told the worst phrase in sports is there's always next year, because that means you didn't win the year before.
Yeah.
But for you especially, there's not always next year. This is it. So, I mean, taking like a 20,000-foot view of this season, team-wise, chemistry, like everything, what do you hope to accomplish?
I think just be in the present, focus game by game, take each series, each practice, just take it shift by shift, honestly. Like, I think, yeah, just looking at it all and just enjoying every little bit of it, because this is your second family, and this is like the last season you're going to all be together. You're going to live a mile away from your best friend, so just soak it all in, take it practice by practice, game by game, and just go from there.
Is it more motivating to finish what didn't get done the last 2 years, or more motivation to play in the Frozen Four in Duluth?
I think to finish what we started the last 2 years, because that's like the pinnacle of like college hockey and what you can get to. So even making it there the last 2 years was something very special. And then if we brought it back home in Duluth, won it in Duluth, yeah, that'd be something. That'd just be special for not only our team right now, but past players, the people of Duluth, all of our fans that have supported us through everything. I think it'd just be huge for everybody.
Looking last year, like this seems like this team feels like a family.
Yeah.
How much fun is it, especially coaches, super personable, players, you guys are great. Mm-hmm. How much fun is it? Just, I mean, it's great being at AMSOIL, but on the road, it has to be kind of fun traveling with people who are your best friends.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we get to go to different states, different places we've never been, and you're sitting there with your 23 of your best friends sitting right next to you. Like, we're flying to places. You go find a cool coffee shop.
Starbucks.
Yeah. Really anything. And then, like, we could spend 3-4 hours at the rink together all day, and then we all go home and we live with each other, or we'll see each other walking down the hallway, and it's like we didn't see each other for the last 4 hours. You know, like, it's just everyone's excited to see each other. Yeah, we're super close.
Inside the House is brought to you by Bullion RV.
There's no doubt this is a tight-knit group. So fun to watch. Tie game 1-1, second period coming up right after this.
Welcome back to AMSOIL Arena. Period 2 imminent between UMD and Wisconsin. There's the stats through 20 minutes. Shots 11-7 in favor of UMD. The one that sticks out, though, maybe most on this stat sheet, 14-4, the faceoffs in favor of the visiting Wisconsin Badgers. 1-1 our score as we head to the second period. Zach Schneider, Emma Stauber, here with you on My 9 Sports. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Bell was tripped up, no call coming. Hughes fires one in on Gervais, centering pass now after she made the pad save. That's cleared away by the Wisconsin defense. Wheeler from the corner, centering pass. Harvey tried to fire it. It slipped off her stick, and it pops free now to UMD's Bell. Ahead for Kraus. Bumper pass at the blue line. Rogie whacks it into the corner there for UMD. Both D changing for the Bulldogs. They get it to Jope Smith. Tried the one-timer. Didn't get good wood on that. Now it's Hanley to Van Wieren. She stops and starts in that corner. Good puck protection here by UMD in the early going of the second period. Jope Smith. Down low, this is Hanley. It got through her stick. Harvey shoots it up the wall. Jope Smith tries that pinch play that we talked about in the first period. It works pretty well for UMD, but it comes free to Edwards, who gets the clear, and Wisconsin will get a change. Long shift there to start the second period for that group from the Badgers, but they get off there. Van Wieren across the line now. Try to drop play to Jope Smith. That was read nicely by Curl, who possesses now. Long pass ahead. This is Shirley. One-on-one with Henderson. Henderson did well enough, and a poke check in the end by Soderberg. Now McMahon. 3-on-3 as they come through neutral. A lot of speed here for McMahon. Fires one right into the logo of Jane Gervais for Wisconsin. A look around the WCHA this afternoon. A good one out in Columbus. Minnesota knocked off Ohio State yesterday. The Gophers lead the Buckeyes again 2-1 in the third period. I think it's St. Cloud leading St. Thomas. We've got that backwards in the third period, and scoreless between Bemidji and Mankato. Anderson, centering pass, backdoor was McMahon. She missed the one-timer. Again, a centering pass. Anderson at the top of the crease, and she sent it wide. Good defense there from La Montilla. Good shift here for this line for UMD. McMahon leaves it for Davis. Again, it's Anderson at the net front for UMD. Davis lost the puck. Bookbinder moves it ahead and through neutral. Nice move at the blue line. This is Eden. Long shot, and Soderberg makes that save. The goaltenders sharp in the early going here in the second period.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes here seem to be all Bulldogs. Wisconsin's got a couple shots on a rush here after they got out of the zone, but mostly all UMD so far this second period.
Just over 2 minutes gone here in the middle stanza for the Bulldogs and the Badgers. Said it at the end of the first period, Emma, I could watch these two teams play hockey every weekend of the year and be pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, just the experience and the skill and everything that we're seeing so far is just, it's so fun. And like you said with the scores, you know, Minnesota upset Ohio yesterday. I mean, it goes back and forth, and that's why the WCHA is so fun to watch.
Especially these top four now, UMD, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Ohio State. Now a chance for the Bulldogs. Rogie, a shot saved by Gervais. She fought it off. Rogie had Kraus with her, elected to shoot. Now Hughes, a shot saved by Gervais. The puck is free for Job Smith, and another save for the Wisconsin sophomore.
Great pressure, good look out of the corner here. Finding Gabby wide open in the middle. Nina with another shot there, just like yesterday. A lot of confidence from the Bulldogs right now.
They have been the aggressors here in the second period, the opening 3 minutes. Wisconsin possesses here. One of the things about Wisconsin, though, now is Curl gets a chance. Good poke check there by Hughes, who was off balance. The two 17s go hard into the corner together. Good defensive play there by Gabby Hughes. Now a centering pass from Curl. It comes free to Rogie. She tried to clear, only got it as far as Harvey. I was going to say the only thing with Wisconsin, though, is they're such a quick strike team with the skill players they have offensively that when you are generating chances that UMD is right now, you really want to get one of them in the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see UMD's attacking with 3 to 4 players, and when you get that fourth player low, there's opportunity and risk that you're taking for Wisconsin to come back the other way, and we've seen that a couple times so far this period. So that's what UMD's looking to do, is try to score on with the time of possession they're having in the offensive zone, because Wisconsin can come down just as easily and score on their chances.
Talked to Maura Kroll about this before today's game, but these two teams have had some great battles over the last several seasons. UMD has ended up on the losing end of several of them, a couple of them in that 3-on-3 overtime, just like yesterday. Van Weeren now to Anderson, to McMahon. Anderson going to the net. It's tipped in front, and Gervais snags it with the glove off the redirect. But what we talked about was last season even, UMD played in a couple of those games where I think they felt they played well enough to beat Wisconsin, and Wisconsin would score a late goal in regulation or win in overtime. And now it was UMD who was able to do that yesterday to Wisconsin. The Badgers played well enough to win that hockey game. It was just in the end, UMD scored a late goal and then got a good break in overtime.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Wisconsin's skill can do that. You can, kind of get through the game pretty evenly, but then on your opportunity, score that goal to win it. But, yeah, I mean, yesterday, I think that confidence from UMD in their start to the season and just their success last year is definitely propelling them in those situations like yesterday.
The other thing is that UMD's played more overtime this season than Wisconsin. The Badgers have largely rolled outside of that season opener that lost to Penn State. They've been lopsided wins for Wisconsin. They haven't had to necessarily play meaningful minutes late in games. UMD has an overtime win against St. Louis, an overtime win against Mankato, an overtime loss last weekend against Ohio State. I thought yesterday they were the more comfortable team in that 3-on-3 session.
Yeah, it goes to that experience, you know, Wisconsin.
Centering pass and a great save by Gervais on the rebound. They score! Gabby Kraus got her own rebound. It's 2-1 UMD.
Yeah, this is the time where you look, if you're Wisconsin, you look, how are we going to respond? And that was similar to yesterday. They haven't had that pressure. They haven't played a team like UMD yet this far, or so far this season. And like you said, are they uncomfortable in this situation? How are they going to handle it? The pressure from the experience that UMD does have.
Well, they got one in the back of the net, did UMD. Gabby Kraus, her 4th goal of the year. Long shot now from McMahon. It was a terrific save on the initial shot from Gervais. And then Kraus just got to the rebound before the Badgers defenders. Bell walks to the middle now for UMD. The Bulldogs can smell blood in the water here. Oh, Davis just had to go under her stick. Great pass from Flaherty. Bell controls at the point. She shoots it in behind. Now Bell pinches down for UMD, has McMahon in the slot, couldn't get it to her. Doubles back, hands off behind the net. This is McMahon out in front. It's Anderson, a backhanded chance. That was cleared away by Wisconsin. Anderson, down low Van Weeren, spins away from trouble behind the net. UMD completes a line change here with possession in the offensive zone. Van Weeren, high slot, stick saved by Gervais. Rebound, a shot that went just wide. It caroms off the boards and out to center. That might be a break for Wisconsin as they'll change 4 of 5 skaters here. Great shifts after the goal for UMD. The shot's 20-9 right now in favor of the home team.
Her 4th goal of the season, number 18, Gabby.
Back to get it is Edwards. Off the wall, Wheeler bangs it off the boards, out to center ice. Tripped up on the play was O'Brien, no call coming there. Hughes continues on. She was stopped at the blue line by Wheeler. Had to go to the far side. Now it's Kraus battling for it just inside the Wisconsin blue line. It comes back to the UMD side of the ice. Played ahead by Jope Smith. Couldn't handle it cleanly, could Hughes. And now she gets it back in the slot area. She was converged on by 3 Badgers. The bouncing puck held in by Jope Smith. Hughes slowly to the bench after that collision. The last time she handled the puck. She looks all right, though, as she takes a seat for UMD. Now Anderson winds and fires over the net. Stewart. Good stick handling just inside her defensive blue line. Now it's Flaherty. Flaherty tried to leave it there for Bell. Bell in the circle. Tries to find some space in behind the goal. Harvey lost her stick. Bell still controls for UMD. Long shot, tipped in front and wide. McMahon has it now for the Bulldogs. Cleared away by Wheeler. Davis in the far side corner. Had her stick lifted nicely by Shirley. Gets it ahead for Comfer, who will relieve pressure for Wisconsin. We haven't played a lot of this period on this left-hand portion of the ice. Shirley, a shot that was blocked by Davis. Linser clears the zone. Bookbinder, long pass ahead. This is Curl. 3-on-2 as they come in to the far side. A shot, they score! Lacey Eden, a great shot off the bench. And we're tied once more. It's 2-2.
That's exactly what we were just talking about, how UMD can control, the last 3-4 minutes in the Wisconsin end, and then Wisconsin is able to relieve a little pressure. Finally, they get possession of the puck. They're out. UMD's changing. 3-on-1, 3-on-2 with a back check. Finds Eden on the backside. Goal.
Eden's second of the weekend, her 10th goal of the year. She's among the nation's leaders with 19 total points this season now. And that's a big-time goal for Wisconsin because it really felt like the ice was tilted in the other direction. So we're tied once more. Goals each way in the opening period. Same story here in the second. Now LaMantia crossed the line, tried to center. That was Eden going to the net. LaMantia, rebound out in front. And Sims sent it just wide for the Badgers. Baskin ahead for Van Weeren at the line. Gets it to Linser. The Bulldogs are changing, so Linser just fires it in. Kind of an awkward save. She gives it back in the middle. Now Rogie tried to stick handle around the defender. Lost a handle on the puck. It goes to the corner. She and Kotlowski get tied up. Hughes comes away with it. A shot, save made. The puck still free at the far side. No whistle yet, and now it does. Bull, we will step aside. A lot of action here in the second period. We're tied 2-2. My 9 Sports, the great TV network. Still need a great gift idea for your favorite Bulldogs fan? UMD Stores has got you covered. All the very best brands to show off your Bulldog pride. The store is open 7 days a week, or you can shop online at umdstores.com. Long shot from Joe Smith hit the side of the cage after angling off the end wall. O'Brien played it ahead for Wheeler, and that's an icing here on Wisconsin. We will step aside for a brief message from our sponsors.
Want to increase your brand awareness? Look no further than Soda Signs and Graphics.
Just past the halfway point of this second period. 2-2 the score, shots 22-11 in favor of UMD. Thanks to the early onslaught here in the second period from the Bulldogs. Now some speed. This is O'Brien. Had it knocked away nicely by Linser. She chases O'Brien into the corner. Moves it to the near side Wheeler. Tried to come up the wall, I think, to Edwards. Now it gets to her at the point. She shoots it back down low. Flaherty flips it back toward the blue line. Wozniewicz tried to find O'Brien. Bell defended that nicely. Hanley ahead for Linser, spinning it and sending it in deep for UMD. Harvey chased behind the net by Van Weeren. A nice takeaway there from Kraus. She's tripped up, and a penalty coming to Wisconsin. UMD will head to its second power play of the game. That's when we come back here on My 9 Sports, the great TV network.
Welcome back, 2-2 game. Bulldogs got to go on a power play. Coming up in the admission, we talked to another super senior, Naomi Rogie, who's been in the mix. She got a point yesterday on the game tying goal. Hear from her coming up in that second intermission. Zach?
Yeah, thanks very much, Kevin. Second power play of the game here for UMD. A chance to, for the second time today, I should say, take that 1-goal lead. Bell to Hughes. Hughes across, looking for Flaherty on the backside, and Wisconsin sniffed that out. They're able to clear. Curl, one-on-one, shorthanded with Bell. Curl to the middle. She was upended, no call coming. Wisconsin wanted a call on that, but won't get it. The power play continues for UMD. Almost a great move to the middle for Curl as she tried to jump around Ashton Bell. McMahon angled nicely to the near side boards by O'Brien. Gets some help from Eden, who was canceled out by Flaherty at the UMD blue line. So far, a good kill here for Wisconsin. Nearly a minute gone on this UMD power play. Britta Curl has had the best chance so far. Now Flaherty through neutral ice, keeps the puck on her stick, gives it to Hanley. This was the group that scored in the first period. Unit number 2 for the Bulldogs. Baskin at the far point, just over stick handled it and lost it out to center ice. She gets it back now for UMD with 40 seconds to play in the power play. 2-on-2 battle there, it pops free. Joe Smith holds the zone for the Bulldogs. Hanley, the co-captain, back to the point, Baskin. She had a power play goal in the first period to get the Bulldogs on the board. Hanley, long shot, looking for a tip. Got one from Kraus, but wide. Joe Smith with 20 seconds to go on the power play. 7.5 minutes here, second period. Joe Smith, yesterday's overtime hero. Sent one towards the middle, back on her feet. Tried to slap at it there, no good. Comes to Hanley, fires one. Rebound to the near side. And then back toward the stick side of Gervais from Job Smith. just missed the net. Back to 5-on-5 as Harvey is released for Wisconsin. On the forecheck, that was Hughes. It comes free to Bell, who shoots it back deep for the Bulldogs. Rogie comes away with it for UMD. One-timer from the point. Flaherty missed the net, didn't get a tip. It comes free to Rogie. Rogie in the high slot now on her backhand towards the middle. That was cleared away by LaMontia. She couldn't get it out, though. It gets as far as Ashton Bell. Bell, near side circle now. She fires one. That was saved by Gervais. Tired defenders out there for Wisconsin. Hughes to Flaherty. Top unit out there for UMD. Some miscommunication as Bell had headed to the bench. Flaherty tried to leave it for her, and Henderson couldn't get there in time. Wisconsin does get one player off, but here come the Bulldogs. Flaherty, a shot that was tipped. Centering pass. That was knocked away as well. Picard wraps it around the boards. Held at the far side point by Davis. That puck never got out. UMD back on the attack. Swept at there. It comes free to Davis at the dot. A save by Gervais. And now she covers up at the far side of the cage for Wisconsin. We will step aside, take a brief message from our sponsors.
Choose Ogston's Body and Paint when your car needs repairs.
Good offensive zone pressure there from UMD.
Yeah, that was another couple minutes right there that UMD had possession. They didn't panic. They were composed with the puck.
Now a centering pass for Wisconsin, and Comfer was driving hard to the net for the Badgers. It comes to Harvey, near side circle, tipped in front. Soderberg made the save. Good tip from Comfer for the Badgers. And just like that, the counterattack for Wisconsin again goes to work. That centering pass is knocked away by Henderson. We've seen this movie before from the Badgers, where they weather the storm and then a quick strike the other way. No better way to take the wind out of a team's sails. And they think they've got you on the ropes, and then you go the other way and score a quick goal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked about it earlier about Wisconsin maybe being a little uncomfortable in their zone, and that's why UMD's been able to take advantage of that. But then at the same time, now Wisconsin gets the opportunity to get out, and they get into the zone they're comfortable in, and now they can start executing like they have done up until this point this season.
Couple big time saves in this period from Jane Gervais as well. Could be a different story if UMD is able to pop a couple of those grade A chances they've created for themselves. As it stands, it's 2-2. Almost a turnover in the far side corner. Collision as two players fell down. It gets to the blue line, not out. Now Job Smith will get it out. It comes to neutral where McMahon has it for UMD. Nice pass to the far side. Davis a long shot. Easy stop for Gervais. And we will take a break. 2-2 our score here at Amsoil Arena, My9 Sports, the Gray TV Network. Here's a look at the WCHA standings. UMD currently fourth after getting 2 points from yesterday's contest. Way behind, it would appear, Ohio State, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, 23, 21, 18. A big gap there, but I was talking with Laura Kroll about this week. Sometimes in the WCHA, you have to consider how many games you've played and who you've played them against, because UMD has started with a fairly difficult WCHA schedule, with 2 of their first 3 series being against Ohio State and now Wisconsin. So it's one of those conferences where you can't look too deep into the numbers until you're much deeper into the season.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go past the numbers like you just said and see who they're playing. And I mean, again, we talk about the WCHA, and every weekend's a battle, and UMD can take the game yesterday. Wisconsin could take it today. They could split, and then later in the season, as the teams develop and they grow, those things can change. It can go either way. So you definitely have to, look past those numbers.
They got 2 points yesterday, did UMD. 5 points on the weekend. You call that a very successful 2-game set against Wisconsin. That's what they're trying to do with a regulation win here this afternoon. Wisconsin trying to get back at UMD after the overtime loss yesterday. Inside of 4 minutes to go, second period. Kraus goes opposite corner. Her line mates will change as Bookbinder chases for Wisconsin. She tried to flip to center. It got just past Van Wieren. Trying to send it back deep with Stewart. Right in front of the UMD bench. Kind of an awkward place as the Bulldogs are changing players. The puck's popping around. I see a lot of snow in front of the UMD bench. Now we'll settle things down with LaMantia. The long pass ahead was tipped by UMD. That negates the icing. Sophie Shirley in on the forecheck. She wins the puck. Centering pass. It bounces free to Harvey. In the circle shot, they score. Carolyn Harvey, her second of the game. And Wisconsin leads it 3-2.
Take a look at the replay here. One-on-one battle out of the corner. Wisconsin throws it out front. Kind of tic-tac-toe a little bit off some sticks. Harvey picks it up, patient, opens up, gets a shot through. I don't think Soderberg saw that. But there's that experience and that confidence coming from Harvey right there. Picks her head up in the back of the net.
Her second goal of the night, sixth goal of the season for Harvey. The primary assist will go to Sophie Shirley, which puts her now 1 point away from tying Abby Rock for 9th all-time on the program's scoring list. She's also later this season now going to become only the 9th player, I believe, in Wisconsin program history to reach the 100-assist plateau. So some good company coming later this year. You would assume that Sophie Shirley would get the 8 assists needed to join that exclusive club for the Badgers.
Yeah, what an accomplishment. I mean, it just goes to show you can score goals, but you can also set them up, and the hockey IQ there and good decision making.
Wisconsin with its second lead of the hockey game. 3-2 our score. Final 2:45 of this second period. UMD comes away from that scrum with the puck. This is McMahon. Across the red line, she shoots it in. Shayla Edwards back behind her own goal, gives to her partner. That's Harvey. Ahead for Layla Edwards. Now at the blue line. That was Wozniewicz. She was on the WCHA All-Rookie team, another one of those talented youngsters for Wisconsin. Curl shoots it in. Jope Smith back behind her own net. Rogie tried to go to the middle. Eden took that one away. She got some help, though, from Gabby Hughes. To the near corner, it's Jope Smith. Her clearing attempt hit the official in the back. Bounces free to Comfer. UMD back defending now as Jope Smith tried to clear the puck. Got an unfortunate bounce. Can Wisconsin take advantage here? Bookbinder in the far corner. Now it's LaMantia down from the point. Tried to send one toward the middle, and now it is flipped to center ice. That might be an icing on UMD. No, it won't get there quick enough. They wave it off. Bookbinder thought it should have been, and now she plays a long pass ahead at the blue line. This is Eden. Far side half wall. Floats one in. Soderberg gloves that, and we'll get a face-off in the UM. Curious why that was called off, but we continue on with 1:20 to go here in period number 2. Wheeler. Edwards now at the point. Back to Wheeler. She just helped it along. Bell will pick it up. No, she won't. It got through her. Shirley centering pass off the pad of Soderberg. And a backhand chance for O'Brien. Denied by the UMD fifth-year senior Emma Soderberg.
Yeah, flurry here from Wisconsin. Looks like they're, in that comfortable area that they're used to so far this year, and winning some wall battles to get that puck out front and create any havoc that they can in front of Soderberg.
It's funny, before yesterday's game, Maura Kroll told us everybody's talking about how good these two teams are defensively. She said, I don't expect this to be a totally defensive series. both got players who can score. We both like to get up and down the ice. I think this might be a little bit more of a track meet than maybe we're giving it credit for. And then yesterday we came out as a very defensive game. It was 1-0 for most of the contest. And now through 2 periods, we've got 5 goals with Wisconsin leading 3-2. Much different game than yesterday between these Bulldogs and Badgers. Rogie out near the line, tried to spin away from pressure. She sent one in, stick saved by Gervais with 30 seconds to go in the period. Anderson off the bench for the Bulldogs. Going down at the far side was Bookbinder. Hughes on the back pressure, lifted a stick, got the puck in behind the goal. Final 15 seconds now. Wisconsin just trying to relieve some pressure here. Again, UMD holds. This is McMahon. McMahon cuts to the middle, sweeps one in. It comes to Henderson in the circle. She pauses there, 5 seconds, sent one toward the net, did Stewart, and that was cleared by Wisconsin. The period comes to a close. And the Badgers lead the Bulldogs 3-2 with 20 minutes to go here at Amsoil Arena. We will step aside, bring you back for the Super One Foods intermission report right after this on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network. 3-2, Wisconsin leads at UMD here at Amsoil Arena after 2 periods of play. Right now, UMD junior forward Clara Van Weeren is on the ice with our Kevin Moore.
I just told you it's a battle. What's it like out there at this ice right now?
It's a battle, like you said. Both teams are going really hard, and I think it's just a matter of who wants it more and who's working harder at the end of the day.
And then going towards your game, you only have 1 goal, but you're in the mix always. I see you everywhere around the puck. Your power play unit got the first goal. Just what are you seeing in your junior year?
Sorry,
What are you seeing in your junior year that made it just the transition from one year to the next at your game?
I think just being more comfortable with the speed, and I don't know, having 2 years under my belt is huge, a lot of experience. It helps me be more confident.
Not unfamiliar territory, down 1 going to the third. What's it going to take? And like you said, it's battle.
I think we just got to focus on hemming them in, outworking them, keeping that F3 high, and going to work.
All right. Thanks, Clark. Good luck in the third. Zach, back over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kevin. Obviously not the end result that UMD wanted. I thought they played a good 20 minutes, but Wisconsin is one of those teams. We talked about it throughout that period. You make a couple mistakes, they end up in the back of your net, and you find yourselves in a 1-goal hole headed to the third.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw UMD control the puck, and they had confidence and poise in the offensive zone in Wisconsin's D zone, but Wisconsin got a couple opportunities to break out, and whether it was on a change or just some wall battles in UMD's defensive zone, they were able to get the puck out front and capitalize on it. So that's something that UMD's got to be aware of, that when Wisconsin gets into their end, they're always a threat. So I think she said right there, they got to just kind of focus in, and they've been there before, so they know what to do this third period.
Yep, they were there just yesterday and got a late tying goal from the stick of Gabby Hughes before the overtime game winner. The Bulldogs will be trying to do much of the same here this afternoon. Elsewhere around Bulldog country, earlier today, the football team up at Molosky Stadium got a big win on Senior Day, 51-7 over Minot State. The volleyball team on the road bounced back from a sweep yesterday at the hands of Northern State to beat MSU Moorhead 3-0. And then later on today in this building, the UMD men's hockey team will be trying to complete a sweep of their own against Cornell. We'll have that game for you here on My 9 Sports. Hope you can stick around for that later on today at Amsoil Arena. Right now, it's Wisconsin 3, UMD 2 after 2. We'll take a break. More on the Super One Foods intermission report right after this on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network.
Welcome to the Super One Foods second intermission report. Naomi Rogie's a name Bulldogs and Badgers fans should all know. Alexis Bass sat down with the super senior to discuss her final year in a Bulldog sweater.
So Naomi, you're back for your 6th year. I'm sure you've probably referred to yourself as this being your grandma season, but I know your best season yet to come, hopefully. Yeah. What went into that decision-making process for you?
It was a no-brainer. Honestly, the second coach asked me, I said yes, didn't even talk to my parents. I called them. I was like, hey, I'm coming back for another year. It just worked out for school-wise. I already knew that the Frozen Four was going to be back in Duluth, and that's a dream come true, right? You want to win, you want to be here, and you want to play as much as you can. And why rush life when you're able to live out your dream and with all your best friends at the same time?
Yeah, you said it best. And the Frozen Four being here, I know that has been a major motivating factor as to why you guys have so many women coming back on your team. What was that talk like when you guys finished, just a couple months ago is what it feels like?
Yeah, it was hard because, we got so close and we wanted to win. And so when it's coming back here, it seems kind of like a Cinderella story, but we don't think too far ahead. We're just trying to focus on the game that's at hand. And we know our goals at the end, and we know what we did in the off season is going to pay off when it comes time.
And talk about payoff. I mean, you do. The benefits that you guys, fingers crossed, will reap with having so many veterans back on this team. What did you guys kind of all make that decision together, or as individual? What was the process of that?
It was definitely individual because everyone is on a different timeline when it comes to school and what their goals are in life. Like Anna Klein, who knew what she was going to do because she was in med school, and thank God she came back. But there's all those different factors that are put into it. But definitely when people found out and made a decision, we were always so excited for them.
And for you, I know you probably learned that early on back in 1920 when you had your knee injury. How has that really shifted your mindset and your perspective?
Yeah, that was a hard year. Absolutely. Watching the first game from the stands was really hard to wrap my head around. But that made the decision so much easier to come back is because I saw what life was like outside and I didn't want that quite yet. And I was just able to think about where I am at now and what hardships did I make it through and how better of a person I am because of that situation. And I made so many more connections with people on the deeper level when it came to that because there are emotional ups and downs and there are physical up and downs, and it was just so nice to be able to have the team around me.
And I want you to bring me to a place when you're going to be playing the national championship. What is that going to look like for you? Go ahead and take me through that.
I'd have my whole family in the stands because they obviously will know it's going to be the last game of college hockey. When you're able to know that's going to be your last, you can put so much more into it and have so much more heart. And then just looking to the next to me when we're getting ready as a team and realizing like that all the work we put into during the season and our goals and everything and our dreams are coming to fruition and they're coming true, and we get to step out on the ice together and look up and still see the Bulldog banners hanging up, to still see our logo in the ice. I think that just gives me chills, and to think about that, and I don't know, it's just so hard to put into words because there's something special that's happening in that locker room, and so much credit to our coaches for putting together such a well-knit team that doesn't matter who's on the ice, all of us are having fun, all of us are smiling, and all of us want to win.
So the ultimate dog pile.
Yes, exactly.
In the middle, yes. Well, thank you, Naomi. Good luck this season, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you around.
Inside the House is brought to you by Bullion RV.
Something Naomi Rogi and myself have in common. Finished school in 6 years. She did it by choice, me not so much, but I hope you choose to come back for the third period in this WCHA battle coming up.
Welcome back to Amsoil Arena. The third period about to get underway between UMD and Wisconsin. The Badgers leading the Bulldogs 3-2 with 20 minutes to play. Lots on the line here, even though it is just October at Amsoil Arena. Zach Schneider, Emma Stauber here with you for the conclusion of this game. Last night's game went to overtime with UMD the eventual winners. What will happen in the finale, we will find out. Elsewhere around the league, another good one in Columbus. Minnesota and Wisconsin are tied 4-4 as that one currently in overtime. St. Cloud State beat St. Thomas 4-0, and Minnesota State appears headed for a win against Bemidji State. But Minnesota, Ohio State, UMD, Wisconsin, kind of the top four teams in this conference, Emma. And that one's in overtime. This one went to overtime last night. We'll see what happens here in the third period. Hughes for UMD behind the net. Tried to fire one out in front. It's swept away from trouble by Eden. Harvey, 2 goals already. Sent one towards the front. Curl was there. Soderberg directed it away in the end. Eden, drop pass here for Comfer from the dot, saved by Soderberg. Seemed to handcuff her a bit, but she kept it out. Wheeler in behind the goal. Wisconsin is changing. Hughes Doubles back. This is Stewart now for the Bulldogs. Her pass intercepted by Shirley. Stewart gets it back though and now leads a 3-on-2 for UMD. Across the blue line, it's still Stewart. Long shot missed on the stick side of Gervais. Lamantia wraps it around. It's held in by UMD. Linser at the faceoff dot. Into the corner, Van Weeren. She comes up higher in the zone. Job Smith, a shot. That was looking for a tip. Didn't get it from Hanley. Wisconsin clears out to center ice. Job Smith, that puck tipped in by Linser. I'm going to throw a stat at you here, Emma. Over the last 6 seasons for Wisconsin, 138, 0-2. That was their record coming into this weekend when leading after 2 periods, the last 6 years, dating back to the 2016 Frozen Four.
Wow, that's crazy.
They were leading after 2 periods yesterday, and UMD got the win in overtime. The first time that's happened in nearly 6 full years against Wisconsin. And they have a 1-goal lead again here this afternoon after 2 periods of play.
Yeah, that's crazy. That just goes to show you the mentality that they have going into the third and how important it is, because you got to play 3 periods and you got to be able to close out games, especially when you got the lead.
Comfer in the circle, driving towards the net. It was deflected up out of play. A face-off coming here in the Bulldogs zone. They waited until the final 3 minutes to draw even in yesterday's third period, trailing 1-0. You know they'd like to get that goal a bit earlier, but a flair for the dramatic this group has had.
Yeah, sometimes it works in your favor. You get it closer to the end of the period, and then I felt like momentum-wise they had that. UMD had it going into overtime, so sometimes it works out that way. Not always, but sometimes.
Wisconsin holds the puck in. Eden, long shot. That was blocked by Bell. Rink wide to Kraus. Defended by Harvey. She shoots it in. Edwards controls. She flips it out to the blue line. Helped along by Eden. Hanley, though, fires it back in deep for the Bulldogs. Lowry on the forecheck. Harvey spins away from her. Long pass ahead. Intercepted by Stewart. She flips it ahead at the line, just out of the reach of Hanley. Edwards controls in the corner. Out to the blue line. It comes to Stewart. She walks in the circle. Now a shot. That never got to Gervais. Almost a fortunate bounce for Taylor Stewart. Now a 2-on-2 battle in the near side corner. The puck comes to Shirley. That's Sophie Shirley ahead for Wheeler. They're outnumbered as they enter the zone, but Wheeler plays it to herself, now into the near corner. He takes a hit there. It comes up the wall to O'Brien. With some space, far side Lamantia, top of the circle, she scored! Nicole Lamantia, and the lead is 2 for Wisconsin.
Definitely traffic in front of Soderberg there. Let's see the replay here. Really good patience. I think it was O'Brien on the wall to hit the weak side defense.
The 5th-year senior Lamantia, her 7th goal of the year. She was a first-team All-WCHA last year. A stalwart on the Wisconsin blue line, and she gives the Badgers their first 2-goal lead of the weekend. The hill gets a bit steeper for the home team. Anderson in behind Baskin, centering pass. That was cleared away by the defense. Baskin has it back. She battles in the corner. Comes to the line. McMahon winds and fires it. Changed direction, and Gervais made a pad save. Anderson gives it to McMahon. She spins away from trouble. Leaves it for Davis. Cycles back for McMahon. Painting her to the wall is Sims, the reigning WCHA Rookie of the Week. Comes to the line, held by Fierman. Off the corner boards. Now the cage, wraparound chance at the far side. It's still free. McMahon almost made the wraparound work for the Bulldogs, but Gervais sprawls to make the save.
Yeah, she's almost able to tuck it far side there, but Gervais definitely got her leg on that one.
Good response to the Wisconsin goal here by UMD, but they trail by a pair. They win the face-off, a shot tipped on the way through, and Gervais made the save again for the Badgers.
Yeah, it kind of looked like she couldn't see that there, but good opportunity by UMD to win that and get that shot to the net. That's, again, pucks to the net. 15 minutes left in the third. You're down by 2. You got to get the pucks to the net.
UMD the advantage in shots, 31-21 to this point, but being outscored 4-2. A lot of that has to do with the sophomore goaltender, Jane Gervais. She's played a very strong game for Wisconsin. Kind of doing what Emma Soderberg did for UMD in yesterday's game. Just kind of kept them in it and gave their offense time to work. Van Weeren, her pass toward the middle was deflected. Bounces now to Curl with some speed. Far circle. Soderberg makes the save for UMD, and we will take a break. 4-2 Wisconsin here at Amsoil Arena. My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network. The very best in UMD gear is available right now at UMD stores. Jerseys, sweatshirts, t-shirts, caps, gifts, and much, much more. The store is open 7 days a week on campus or online at umdstores.com. 5 minutes gone here in the third period. Wisconsin adds to its lead, but here come the Bulldogs. This is Bell, a shot. Good defensive play by Harvey. She went hard into the wall, though, and is slow to get up. Keep an eye on that. She's still not back to her feet, and now we get a whistle as Harvey injured in the Wisconsin defensive zone. She made a great play to deflect that shot off the stick of Ashton Bell.
Yeah, great back check by her. She went stick on puck to make that not a chance for UMD.
Back to her feet now. She went crashing hard into the boards and is holding her upper body a little bit gingerly as she heads to the bench. Hopefully we see her back for Wisconsin. She's got 2 goals in the game and one of the superstar young players, not just in the collegiate level, but the USA Hockey. She made the Olympic team, delayed coming to Wisconsin for a year. She was supposed to be here last season, but instead was centralized with USA, ended up in the Olympics, winning a silver medal. She's going to be a lot of fun to watch for the next 3 or 4 years here for the Badgers. To the point, LaMantia, she's the goal scorer this period. Her shot was blocked by Stewart, who controls for UMD. Rogie slides it ahead for Hughes. Now it's Kraus at the line. Kraus, rink wide, moving in. A shot from Job Smith, a great block again from Bookbinder. Great defense here for Wisconsin, trying to protect that 2-goal lead and help their goaltender out. Gervais cuts it off behind the net. Gives to LaMantia. She reverses course to the far side. Curl will exit the zone. Across the blue line. Gives to Comfer a shot. Missed on the low glove side of Soderberg. Eden holds the zone near point. Shoots it in behind. Now to the far side. It's Comfer who will pick it up for Wisconsin. To Eden now. Eden, a rising shot. Soderberg made the save and took a whack there at the end of it. And Bell takes heavy exception to that for UMD. Penalties to come from this for sure. I didn't catch a number, but one of the Wisconsin forwards got a stick to Soderberg as she made that save for UMD. Yeah, right there at the end, Bell and I think it's Comfer are fighting for position, and Comfer's stick comes down on the back of Emma Soderberg. Comfer's going to get the only penalty out of that scrum. And we will head to a UMD power play. Maura Kroll wondering perhaps maybe why that isn't a major penalty. She's pointing up to the scoreboard. The officials aren't allowed to use the scoreboard to make their decision. It came down on the back of Soderberg's head. I would think this might be worth a challenge.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
They did
That's
use their challenge yesterday for that potential major penalty, and I believe they will be doing it again.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what she's doing. Yesterday, if you weren't watching UMD, a somewhat similar situation. Maggie Flaherty and Carolyn Harvey were engaged, exchanged blows. Harvey's finger did end up inside of Maggie Flaherty's face mask, so UMD challenged that, saying it should have been a major penalty on Harvey. That did not work. And then we skated 4-on-4. You see there what coaches are allowed to challenge starting this year. The penalty at the bottom just costs a team its timeout. So with 13:30 to go, certainly the risk is worth the reward for Maura Kroll if you can get a 5-minute power play down by a couple goals against the Badgers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just game tactic right there for her. If she has the opportunity to challenge and be successful on that, she's going to do that and give her team the best chance to create opportunities on a power play.
Let's take another look at the play at the end. This is after the incident with Soderberg. Let's see if we can back it up and look at Comfer's stick. What they're challenging is that her stick hits Emma Soderberg in the back of the head and should be a major penalty. I assume for head contact would be the rule that this is referencing. The officials discussing it and discussing it at length. It certainly did look. Let's see if we can get them to roll back the clip and play it again for you, because it looks like the stick certainly does make contact with the back of the head of Soderberg.
Yeah, and to me, it does look intentional from just watching it here.
It might be the shoulder. That's a tough angle to tell, but we will get the verdict now from the officials.
You can see her ponytail move too, so it does.
And it will be a major penalty and game misconduct to Comfer. The challenge successful, and UMD is going to end up with a 5-minute power play. Jessie Comfer out of this game with a contact to the head major penalty, and UMD with a golden opportunity to at least get one, if not 2 goals back.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely some confidence there. Is if they get one, they still got more time on the power play. So if they can get one early, that's the best case scenario.
Well, now, so this situation actually came up yesterday because UMD used its challenge for the face masking against Harvey. And Maura Kroll was told if that's successful and we call a 5-minute major against Harvey, Mark Johnson for Wisconsin plans to use his challenge because Flaherty may have made head contact with Harvey in that exchange. So now what I assume Mark Johnson is challenging is that Ashton Bell should also be out of this game because of her response to Jessie Comfer hitting Emma Soderberg.
Yeah.
So some chess moves being made by the head coaches midway through the third period. Let's see if we can look it back and see if Ashton Bell, she did not get an initial penalty called on the play. Comfer was the only one in the box, but let's look at the clip again. Comfer is out of the game. This cannot change that, but what Mark Johnson is saying is that Ashton Bell, number 26 here for UMD, should be out of the game for this. And I don't think he's going to win that.
No, that seems more of just like a roughing, general roughing.
It should be a penalty perhaps against Ashton Bell. I was actually somewhat surprised that they only took Comfer given Bell's reaction, but I don't think that she made any contact to Comfer's head, and you cannot go back and assess a minor penalty. It has to be a major penalty that the officials are looking at right now. So I don't think that Johnson will be successful with his challenge, and UMD should have that 5-minute power play moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think I was surprised too because Ashton did retaliate there, so definitely could have gotten a minor there, but see the refs are back out here. We'll see.
They're going to talk to Johnson at the Wisconsin bench, which usually is a sign that the challenge was unsuccessful, and you see the coaching staff making the motion that she got up underneath the face mask and the helmet area of Comfer. But this is going to be a 5-minute power play for UMD. Wisconsin does lose its timeout, which is fairly inconsequential at this point in the game. It could become more significant depending on how the third period progresses.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with this power play. If UMD gets one quick, it'll be a one-goal game, and you never know what the rest of the game will bring in, and if he wishes he had that timeout or not.
It's funny that 2 games in a row between 2 of the best teams in women's college hockey, we've had dueling challenges in the third period. UMD's challenge yesterday unsuccessful, their challenge today successful, and now a 5-minute power play for UMD after a long delay for both these teams. Back to the hockey. Bell at the point. Hughes to McMahon in the corner. She walks out in front. A shot saved by Gervais. To Hughes, a shot, and a fluttering puck is gloved by Gervais. Hughes didn't get all of that one.
No, Gervais comes to the top of her crease, though. Make sure that she controls that rebound to give UMD nothing on that.
Get another look here. McMahon just walks out of the corner, gets the initial shots, and then a drop pass from Rogie. Actually, Curl was behind Gervais. She might have blocked that if the goaltender didn't get a glove to it. UMD controls again off the faceoff. Bell walks to the middle. Penalty coming now to UMD, and interference off the faceoff will negate 2 minutes of this UMD power play. Gabby Hughes to the box, and we'll skate 4-on-4.
Yeah, you usually get 1 or 2 seconds at most to block someone on the face-off. If there was a replay, I'm not sure. It kind of looked like they got tied up a little bit, unfortunately, there for Hughes to get that call against her.
Take another look at it. It's interference on 17 in gold here, called off the draw as the puck comes back to Ashton Bell. And you know what? Officials have a hard job. To me, that is we should have called the minor on Ashton Bell in the previous scrum.
Yeah.
We're looking for any excuse to make this 4-on-4.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's not called in very many other situations, I don't think, at this point in the game. Again, I do think it should have been a minor on Ashton Bell, so maybe all's fair, and we skate 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. This is LaMantia. She's upended by Bell. And McMahon has the puck now for UMD. They will still have just under 3 minutes of power play time once the 4-on-4 is over. So still a good opportunity looming for UMD. Maybe even in the 4-on-4, you can get one of these goals back. Van Weeren at center ice. She crosses the line, leaves it for Hanley. Traffic jam there just inside the Wisconsin blue line. Hanley now has a path to the net. She's pushed down by Shirley. The puck went in behind the net, and now Van Weeren has it. She has her stick lifted by Harvey, who's back in the game. Good to see that for Wisconsin. Now Van Weeren still controls the puck. She's so good at that for UMD, protecting the puck along the boards. Her pass to McMahon, though, no good, and Harvey collects it for Wisconsin. 40 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Then UMD will have 2 minutes and 40 seconds or thereabouts of power play time on the Comfer Major. Baskin to McMahon in UMD's own zone. Her pass through neutral. Hit the skates of Anderson. McMahon will circle back. It kind of feels like UMD's just almost killing this 4-on-4 to try and get back to their major power play, Emma.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're just trying to hang on to the puck, so hopefully when they get back on the power play, they have possession and they're not trying to chase and waste any time getting the puck back.
Hughes will be released in 2 seconds. It's back to a power play for UMD, and the puck hit something in the Wisconsin bench. A face-off here at center ice. We'll step aside for a quick message from our sponsors.
Choose Ogston's Body and Paint when your car needs repairs.
.238 to go on the power play now for UMD. Top unit out there. Hughes out of the box. Wisconsin wins the face-off. Edwards clears it as far as the UMD line. Flaherty The far side, it's Bell to Rogie across the line. She leaves it for McMahon. They'll get set up. Hughes, top of the near circle. Flaherty to Bell, far side circle, walks in, wants to shoot. That was blocked. Flaherty picks it up, tried to slide it to Bell, and a whistle. Collision in front of the goal. And a penalty to Wisconsin. Harvey headed to the box, and it will be 5-on-3. Harvey, an interference penalty for the Badgers.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of this rivalry come out, I think, in the last 10 minutes here.
Well, if you want a chance to get back in the game against the Wisconsin Badgers, here it is, UMD. You're down by 2 midway through this third period, and you get 2 minutes of 5-on-3. Maura Kroll will use her timeout to give that top unit some rest, and you really couldn't ask for a better opportunity for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, good decision there to use that timeout to kind of regroup here with the chance for the 5-on-3. Again, try to get one early, and then they'll give them more time to get that tying fourth goal if they can.
Again, even if you only get one here, you feel that's a win for UMD. You still have about 8 minutes after this is over, 8 minutes of gameplay here in the third period to get the next one, but it almost feels like you need to get at least one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what they're probably trying to, get that first one, and then we'll readjust from there. But obviously, if they can get one early, they would like to, so that they got more time at the advantage, the extra player.
Both coaches drawing on the whiteboards, talking to their teams. A pivotal moment here midway through the third period for the Bulldogs and the Badgers. 2 minutes of 5-on-3. UMD's top unit comes out. Wisconsin counters with LaMantia, O'Brien, that's Wheeler, and Bookbinder. UMD controls off the faceoff. Bell, high slot, a shot missed the net. McMahon controls it in the corner. Hughes, high slot, leaves for Flaherty. Down low, it's Bell. Flaherty to Hughes. Top of the circle, it's Bell. Bell, centering pass, rebound, swapped it there by Rogie. McMahon controls for the Bulldogs. Flaherty to Hughes. Hughes pressured, leaves for Flaherty. Good pressure by LaMantia. It's Bell in the corner. Centering pass. Rogie, one-timer. That was blocked and cleared. Rogie, though, knocks it down for UMD. She has it back. Gives it to Bell. A shot blocked in front by Wheeler. And up out of play. It caught the high netting. Couple big block shots for Wisconsin. 48 seconds gone in the 5-on-3.
Yeah, UMD's got good composure here. I think a little bit more puck movement might help get the Wisconsin players out of position. So let's see what UMD can do here off the faceoff.
They bring unit number 2 out. This is the unit that scored the power play goal in the first period for UMD. There's the goal scorer herself. That's Baskin. She leaves for Hanley. Baskin. Back to Hanley, top of the far circle. Settles the puck down, back to Baskin. Down low, centering pass, went through the crease area, couldn't get a stick to it. Baskin. She switches sides with Hanley. Top of the near circle, they'll switch sides again. Baskin to Kraus, a shot that missed on the far side, and it caroms off the boards out to center ice. 45 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Good hustle from Baskin to win that puck back for UMD. Job Smith into the zone, gives for Kraus. Off the bench, it's Rogie. Try to get the top unit out again. Rogie, a shot was blocked. She continues on, the rebound behind the net. Centering pass, they score! Ashton Bell, a power play goal. It's 4-3.
Great job there, using behind the net to their advantage, get the goaltender and the defensive team. Wisconsin looking behind the net. Comes in the slot, no one knows she's there. Shot off the pass.
The Olympic gold medalist, the 5th-year senior Ashton Bell, her 6th goal of the year. gets her a little bit closer to the 100-point plateau. It does for Naomi Rogie as well. Both of them entered very close to 100 points in their career. An important goal for the Bulldogs, and still 31 seconds of that major power play remain. A chance to pull level for the Bulldogs with 9:01 to go in regulation. The officials just making sure the penalty time on the scoreboard correct. It is, and we will continue on. That top power play unit again out there for UMD. It's setting up to be another great finish here at Amsoil Arena. Bell to Flaherty. Now McMahon, she shoots it in. Gervais played it into the corner. LaMontia whacks it around the glass and all the way down. Good clear there for the Badgers. That should kill most of what's left on the Comfer Major, being served by Wisniewicz. Losing her stick on the play was LaMontia. Here come the Bulldogs. Hughes tried a centering pass through the crease area. LaMontia that time slipped down. We're back to 5-on-5. Wisniewicz out of the box. She gets it at the UMD line, sends it in deep. Almost a fortunate break as LaMontia lost her stick, and UMD couldn't quite capitalize. Now Sophie Shirley, far side corner. A one-goal game again for these two teams. A save by Soderberg, the shot from Carolyn Harvey, a bid for her hat trick, as she's already got 2 in the hockey game. 8 minutes to go here, third period. Sims tried to slide one to Shirley, goes into the corner, pushes it around to the far side corner. Edwards up the boards, bothered by Stewart. Now Sims back into the corner, monitored by Van Wieren. Drops one for Shirley. They try to cycle the puck in the offensive zone. Edwards, near side point. Off the corner boards to her sister. Shayla to Layla Edwards. Now LaMontia high in the zone, has some space. Rather, that's Sims. Gives it to Harvey, a bouncing puck. It's still free, top of the crease. And crashing the net hard was Kirsten Sims for Wisconsin. We'll step aside. Ashton Bell as the Bulldogs within 1. My9 Sports, the Gray TV network.
It's time for the My9 Sports Bulldog Fan of the Week. These week's fans are John and Jack. Congrats to them. For your chance to be Fan of the Week, post your photos on the My9 Sports Facebook page or email them to my9sports@kbgr6.com. The My9 Sports Bulldog Fan of the Week is brought to you by the Duluth Tap Exchange and the Tap On Tower.
7 minutes to play here, third period. Shot in by Wisconsin. UMD in a similar spot to last night's game, in need of a goal late in the third period. Hughes, she was the goal scorer last night that sent the game to overtime. Rogie canceled out in the corner. LaMontia off the boards, up to the point, held by Jobe Smith. She was the overtime hero yesterday for the Bulldogs. To the blue line, it's banged out by Wisconsin. 6.5 minutes to play here in regulation. Hanley across the line, long shot. That hit the shin guards of Bookbinder. It's cleared back to center ice by Wisconsin. Again, back on the attack. Right away are the Bulldogs. Van Wieren tried to stop there, gives it to Stewart. Long shot. That was blocked this time by LaMontia. Wisconsin doing a great job of staying in shooting lanes. That clear is going to be icing here on the Badgers. We'll step aside. A quick word from our sponsors.
Want to increase your brand awareness? Look no further than Soda Signs and Graphics.
Face off after the icing, coming to the left of Jane Gervais. Again, a long shot ahead by Shirley, and another icing here on Wisconsin, just inside the 6-minute mark left in regulation. Shots 36-25 at this point in favor of UMD. 4-3 though the score off the face-off. A shot from Davis that was blocked before it got to the goal. She's got the puck now in the corner. Gives it to McMahon. McMahon cuts through the circle into the slot. Tried to fire one towards the net. It was knocked away. Anderson taken down on the far side. UMD wants a call, won't get it. Anderson still on the ice as she was essentially tackled by Maddie Wheeler. She's back to her feet now. A Wisconsin player goes down in a heap. No call on that one. It's old-time WCHA. The whistles are put away, it seems, for the final 5.5 minutes. Rogie creates the turnover. She enters the zone. Bulldogs are changing. She waits for help. Shoots it around to the far side. It comes toward the middle. Now it's Hughes on the wraparound. She couldn't get a shot away. It was knocked away by Wozniewicz, and she clears for the Badgers. Bell back to get it in her own zone. She has it knocked away by Wozniewicz. Inside of 5 minutes to go here in regulation. The officials clearly going to let them play and decide it for themselves as we continue on here in the third period.
Yeah, definitely getting a little bit more physical here.
Edwards loses it just inside the zone to Flaherty. Rink wide. That's shot in by Kraus. It's on goal, and Gervais will cover. We will take a break. 4-3, Wisconsin leads UMD. My9 Sports, the Gray TV network. Down to the wire again for these two teams, Badgers and Bulldogs here at Amsoil Arena. It's been a fun weekend of hockey. Do the Bulldogs have another goal in them? They trail 4-3 with 4:22 to go here, third period. Start to keep an eye on Emma Soderberg. She never needed to leave the cage. Yesterday, the Bulldogs got the equalizer just inside the 3-minute mark. Hughes gives chase with Eden. Right now, Eden has the potential. No, I'm sorry, it's LaMontia who has the potential game-winning goal for Wisconsin. 3:45 as it's shot around the near side boards by Stewart for UMD. Out to the blue line, Van Wieren has it. Gets around Edwards into the zone as Hanley trying to go to the net. A shot is swallowed up by Gervais, and pushed to the ice at the far side was Hanley. Not going to get that called at this point in the game. Coming up tonight, more hockey here at Amsoil Arena on My9 Sports. The UMD men will be trying to complete a sweep over Cornell. They got a thrilling 3-2 win yesterday. A late goal from Derek Dashke in the third period snapped a 4-game losing skid for those Bulldogs. Harvey behind the net. She shoots it ahead. At the UMD line, it's turned the other way. Hanley, Van Wieren. Jope Smith puts it ahead. This is Linster now. Linster tried to cut to the middle, didn't have much puck support, and Wisconsin able to clear to center. Flipped over the glass into the penalty box area by UMD, and a face-off coming with 3:06 to play here in the third period. Can UMD find some late game heroics one more time here against Wisconsin? Anderson had it bounce off her shin guard. She couldn't find the puck. Henderson, fresh off a change, she plays it to the near side. Now this is Kraus. Shoots it around. Far side. Mary Kate O'Brien out there for a shift in the final minutes here of a one-goal game. First time I think I've called her name all game. But she was out there for UMD. Now she hops off in the top line out there for the Bulldogs. Just off the stick of Gabby Hughes. Now Baskin gives it to Rogie. Wisconsin with 2 or 3 defenders back every single time UMD tries to cross that blue line. They're going to make UMD earn every inch of ice here in the closing minutes. McMahon leaves it just inside the line for Hughes. Soderberg to the bench. Extra attacker on for UMD. Bell, Flaherty sent one towards the net, was wide. 6-on-5 with 2 minutes to go. in a 1-goal game. Hughes high in the zone to the far side. Flaherty toward the middle, tip and score! Naomi Rogie tips it in front, and UMD ties it at 4.
Really looked like Wisconsin was trying to pick up their checks there and left her on the sideboards to make that shot pass to the tape.
The 6th-year super senior Naomi Rogie ties the game for UMD. Her first goal of the season is a big one here at AMSOIL Arena. The game's tied with 1:52 to go here in regulation.
She's been a big part of this team. I mean, you look at the last 2 goals. She played part in that 3rd goal, and now gets that 4th goal to possibly force overtime here.
The Wisconsin bench talking about potentially challenging something on the goal. Offsides is what, if you're a lip reader, Mark Johnson said to the official. So they will challenge, I believe, offsides on the entry. Ashton Bell asking the question, what's going on? But Wisconsin using another coach's challenge in this game to challenge offsides on the zone entry for UMD. Now here's the interesting part, Emma. As we go through this, we'll try and wind the tape back and get a look at it ourselves. But if Wisconsin is unsuccessful this time, because they don't have a timeout, it would be a minor penalty, and UMD would be on the power play for the final minute and 52 seconds of regulation.
Yeah, I think he's got to make that decision and be sure here. So it's, I mean, I don't remember.
Let's see if we can get a look here as Hughes out near the line. This isn't it. It must have been before this as they entered the zone. There's nothing else to challenge other than offsides. I'm fairly sure that's what I saw him say to the official. Maura Kroll getting an explanation of what's happening here, and the linesman is in the video review box with one of the referees, which tells me it's an offsides challenge. Let's see if we can wind it back to where the puck actually entered the zone. We're working on that for you, and we'll see if we can get a look at it ourselves. Here it is. McMahon to the far side. Was McMahon ahead of the puck there? It's so tough to tell at full speed. They're going to slow this down. We'll see if we can do the same and look at it again. But it's Manon McMahon on her own zone entry. Is she ahead of the play? That will be the deciding factor, and it looks like a decision's been reached. This game is either tied or a big blow to UMD, who thought they had the game-tying goal. They do not. Offside on the entry, and we're back to a 4-3 hockey game.
It does look like it slips off her stick there. I don't know, from this angle I can't. Yeah, her looks like her skates do cross the blue line.
What a blow to UMD. The clock resets to 2:11. The score resets to 4-3. And we will continue on. Soderberg back to the net, and UMD will have to find the game-tying goal again. 2:11 to go, the face-off just outside the Wisconsin zone. Heck of a challenge by Mark Johnson and his staff on that zone entry. Takes the game-tying goal off the board. Bookbinder back behind her net. She wraps it around to the far side point. Soderberg to the bench, 6-on-5 again here for UMD. Bell to the extra attacker Van Wieren. She lost the puck momentarily. It comes now to Flaherty. Flaherty walks to the middle. Down low Van Wieren. Bell, middle point. Hughes walks in, a shot. It deflects to the far side and just missed Flaherty. She would have had a one-timer there for UMD. It's flipped to center ice now by Wisconsin with 90 seconds to play in the hockey game. 6-on-5, the empty net for UMD. They shoot it in. Gervais leaves it for Bookbinder. Off the boards, up the wall for Shirley, who clears. Back on the attacker of the Bulldogs, Job Smith, last night's overtime hero. Gets it in the zone, can't get it in deep, and Wisconsin again clears the center ice with 60 seconds to play. Chipped ahead there in front of Hanley. Held at the point by Kraus. Spins away from the check of Wheeler. Gets it to Hanley in the corner. 45 seconds to play. Baskin walks to the middle. Gives to Hanley. Top of the circle. Tried to go down low. It was tipped away. Linser controls. Back to Hanley. 35 seconds. Baskin to the middle. Hanley. Top of the circle. A shot. That was blocked. Maddie Wheeler on the block for Wisconsin. Job Smith toward the middle, saved Gervais. The rebound's still there. Swept behind the net. Now into the corner, it's Kraus. Up the wall, Baskin holds. Kraus to the point, Hanley. 15 seconds, long shot. Another block from Shirley. Final 10 seconds now for the Bulldogs. Hanley gives it to Anderson. Off the bench, this is Bell. Walks right in, another block for Wisconsin. And the Badgers are gonna survive here at AMSOIL Arena.
Really gritty finish there by Wisconsin to pull that off. I think that was, 4 or 5 block shots there. UMD trying to get all the pucks that they can to the net, but Wisconsin prevailing through that situation there, that last minute and a half, 90 seconds or so.
Really fun series between the Bulldogs and the Badgers. Wisconsin gets the win here on Saturday afternoon. 4-3 the final. They walk away with 4 of the 6 WCHA points in this weekend series. We will step away, bring you back, and we'll hear from one of the Badgers right after this. 4-3 to final on My9 Sports, the great TV network. Another thrilling end here to UMD and Wisconsin. The Badgers hang on to a 4-3 win here on Saturday afternoon. They take 4 of the 6 WCHA points. Right now, sophomore forward Lacey Eden is with our Kevin Moore.
I just saw you give the fans a little salute there. What's it feel? I mean, tough win. Two goals on the weekend. How's it feel?
Oh yeah, this was a great weekend. So much fun to play, battling the entire time. I mean, our team knew this was going to be our biggest competition of the season, and it showed on the ice. I don't think we were used to the physicality that they gave us, so a little bit tough at some points, but we grinded through it and came out with that win. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that last shift out there. We had Wheeler, Shirley, Edwards all eating pucks. It was awesome, and that's the effort that we want every single game. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a real team effort, especially, I mean, you guys were blocking pucks left to right that last minute. But talk us through, the Bulldogs got everything going in the offensive end the first 1.5 periods, but then a shift kind of turned where you guys controlled the puck more. What was the message on the bench and in the locker room?
It was take a deep breath. Like, we are good hockey players. Like, we have all the skill to be better than this team when we work together. So I think it was just focusing on the little things and executing every shift, just one shift at a time.
And then, I mean, you guys, again, take 4 points on the weekend. How's it feel just leaving knowing you got 4, they got 2?
Yeah, that's what we want. I mean, standings at the end of the day, like, we're looking for the long run. We're looking towards the end of this season. That's what our goal is, to improve every single weekend and come away with those points and just getting better. And, now we have to go back to Madison, a couple of weeks off, and I bet we'll focus on some of the things that we saw in this game, and we'll be even a better team for it.
All right, thanks, Lacey. Congrats. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
All right, Zach, tough WCHA battle once again. Send it back up to you.
Yeah, it always is when the Bulldogs and the Badgers get together, and certainly another installment that UMD certainly would have liked to be on the winning end. But when you get 2 WCHA heavyweights, somebody's got to lose. I don't think Wisconsin necessarily deserved to lose yesterday's game, and UMD didn't deserve to lose today's game. It was one of those series where both teams, I thought, played very well from start to finish.
Yeah, I think so. It was a lot of back and forth. We saw some great opportunities both ways, and then great defense both ways as well. So, like she talked about there for Wisconsin, the last minute and a half, a lot of block shots. Really, working together to finish it off, and that's what happens when you get these 2 WCHA teams and some of the others playing and competing against. She said, it comes down to standings at the end of the year, and those 1-2 points make a difference.
We'll look forward to the rematch of these two teams in Madison coming up in January later this regular season. Who knows? They might meet each other, not just in the WCHA postseason, but maybe the NCAA tournament. That seems to be where both these teams are headed. But early in the season, what can you take away from this? UMD no longer interested in moral victories. I don't know if this program was really ever interested in moral victories, but what can you take away from this weekend for the Bulldogs?
I think for UMD is definitely that they can play and to continue to gain confidence. You saw that they were able to respond. They've played down before, and they were able to come back and keep battling. And I think Gabby talked about it, like I said earlier, it's trusting in themselves and the process that they have enough skill, and when they play together, they can be effective against teams like Wisconsin. It's just learning how to, minimize their mistakes. So teams like Wisconsin with the skill don't come down and capitalize on them.
It was a lot of fun to watch here in the end of October. The Bulldogs and the Badgers all weekend long. Wisconsin today gets the 4-3 win here at Amsoil Arena. Coming up here on My 9 Sports later on tonight, we'll have the UMD men's hockey team trying to complete a sweep of Cornell here in Duluth. And then later on next weekend, that men's hockey team travels out to Colorado College. We got some volleyball against Minot State for you next weekend. And then in a couple weeks, back at home are the UMD men as they will take on Nebraska Omaha here Friday and Saturday nights. We'll have all of that coming up for you here on My 9 Sports. Until then, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Zach Schneider. She's Emma Stauber. Thank you to our two corporate sponsors, Essentia Health and Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC, for their continued support of our broadcast all season long. It was a fun weekend of hockey here for the Bulldogs and the Badgers. Wisconsin today, a 4-3 win. Good night, everybody.